4v4 on Vielsalm. I finally remembered the map's name this time.
Pioneers awaiting orders.
This game is going to be PinoyLando Luftwaffe, Helichopper, Darth, followed by a lot of symbols, and USU, who is Chinese maybe, versus the Angry Bears, FN Newbie, GB Pirate, Beamer 8, and DP Farce. Looks like we've got a perfectly balanced mix of Axis versus a perfectly balanced mix of allies. Two of every single faction will be represented in this particular game, and as Vielsalm tends to, we're going to see both sides splitting up and taking control of the left and right flanks of the map. Since the center is really desolate, and a lot of people complain about the minefield here in the center. Dope new haircut. But the reason I don't think it makes that much of a difference is that it's there's no points over here except for one VP.
We're taking lead over here.
And retreating through it obviously is problematic, but other than that, I don't think that they have that dramatic of an impact on the game, and I think it's kind of interesting that a map would have mines on it by default rather than planted by the players. And unless I'm mistaken, I don't think this map has blizzards, right? I can't remember actually. I don't think I remember there being any blizzards on this map.
We're on the hook over here.
And I don't think there's that much deep snow either. In fact, I'm not sure there's any. So as far as winter maps go, it's one of the nicer Western Front Armies maps, and I don't know, to be honest, I've literally never even played on it, so I'm not really in a place to pass judgment. But I think it could be worse. Engagement over here on the right side is actually going to the south base this time. It looks like two players, Helichopper and PinoyLando, have dedicated a small amount of forces to trying to take control of the right side. The Allies have fielded a small amount of forces as well. And when the amount of forces is small, the Kuba wagon definitely dominates. But an M3 comes out from the Soviet base and will be able to chase down and potentially kill that Kuba wagon. A little bit slow on the chase right there, though, so I guess that Kuba wagon will make it away this time. MG42 is being set over here to cover the points. Will probably be able to secure this area, at least for the time being. And there's a machine gun bunker being constructed to defend the... Wow, victory point, and this is something I've never seen before. I'm not sure if I think this is a good idea or not. Pretty decent chance of him getting pinned down in his base right here, but it's kind of a sneaky placement, I guess. Allies will probably discover that at some point if he does set a forward retreat point right there. Meanwhile, on the left side, we're going to have another battle group headquarters going up. So both of the Oberkommando West players clearly fully intend to take advantage of a forward retreat point here, setting up their battle group headquarters pretty close to the left and right flanks of the map. And that may give them the edge they need to take control of the critical points in those areas. The right side looks like it's still pretty securely held by the Axis. Allies trying to make something happen over here, but doesn't really look like they've fielded an appropriate amount of forces. And on the left side, Sturm Pioneers are wiping that rear echelon troop squad. These riflemen will be soon to follow if they don't get out of there. Pretty late retreat. Surprised that those Sturm Pioneers disengaged, but they were falling a little bit low. Fresh squad moves up into close range to try and see what it can do. And all riflemen here on the left side victory point will be forced to retreat. For the time being, no forces are being deployed towards the center, and the Axis have not even captured this strategic point right outside their base. This is actually something that can tend to happen in big team games because every one of the teammates assumes that somebody else will go capture that point. And that's a phenomenon I'm quite familiar with. And then 6 minutes into the game, everybody's like, wait, nobody captured this. M3 is having trouble reversing to safety and will take a Panzerfaust, destroying its engine. Kugelwagen will pin down this squad of combat engineers, and I'm pretty sure that M3 will go down. A sniper is being fielded to the right side to try and accomplish something more, but all Allied infantry pushes are utterly failing over here on the right side, and the Axis will continue to have a very secure hold on both fuel points, which is a pretty significant problem for the Allies. The fact that they're not going to be able to punch through this battle group headquarters position and take this fuel, and they haven't managed to secure this fuel, which is closer to their base and in a more open field, is putting them in a very dangerous position for the mid-game. Not to mention they don't have victory point control either, and the Axis are now almost 50 points ahead of them, which at the beginning of the game is extremely bad. We do have an early M20 being fielded here by DP Farce, but he gets way too aggressive. Dives into a massive blob of infantry, and even small arms fire will be sufficient to destroy him in numbers that large. Plus there's one Panzerschreck in the blob. Most of these troops are short-range troops, though, so the Allies engaging at mid-range do have an advantage, and they're going to be bleeding manpower a little bit, but they're not going to be able to punch through because of this forward reinforce point unless they make a really big push. There are 2 M3s, one with a flamethrower inside, and 5 squads of infantry. But I don't know if that's really enough to punch through all of this stuff. Trying to charge into close range against this many Sturm Pioneers and Assault Grenadiers would probably not go well. Flamethrower flanking around the right side gets a nice burst on that Volksgrenadier squad, and it will actually retreat rather than trying to reinforce from this position. He didn't want to risk losing the squad to a lucky flame crit. By forcing the Panzerschreck away from this position, that will open things up for light vehicles a little bit more. Grenade being tossed by that rifle squad could wipe, not quite, maybe. Yes, 2 squads in fact. 2 squads of Sturm Pioneers wiped by that grenade with supporting fire from across the road. Very nice play right there. That will significantly weaken this position, but there's still a lot of Axis infantry here to chew through, and the right side battle doesn't look like it's going any better than before. In fact, the Axis have crept all the way up to this strategic point right outside the Allied base. There is a Stuart over here on the right side being deployed to try and make something happen. It did take a Panzerfaust, so with its damaged engine it has to pull back for some repairs for now. And a squad of paratroopers is being deployed in the north as well to try and assist in these engagements. Because the engagements here have been going so well for the Allies, and the Axis are only just barely managing to hold on to this defensive position, the Allies have resecured victory point control, and the clock has begun ticking against the Axis again. Or actually, for the first time. And then the victory points are going to pull pretty even. The mortar gets decrewed, but the assault grenadiers over here should be able to get that back under their control. Which does mean that Darth has gone with mechanized assault. Smoke grenade deployed to this bunker to try to give the Allies a way to assault this position. Stuart is receiving repairs in the north still, and we will have an attempt by this Minesweeper squad to take control of the center victory point.
Under fire! Water team is under fire!
M3 with a flamethrower inside, doing a little bit of damage over here. Assault engineers, or grenadiers, apparently charge into close range to try to do some damage to that M3. They do bring it to about half, just with sheer numbers, but they're taking heavy damage and are not successful in destroying the M3. And will probably be forced to retreat back to this battle group headquarters, and it doesn't look like the battle lines are really shifting at all. Looks like the Allied assault here on the right side did not really go all that well. Tier 4 structure has been completed, a little close to the battle group headquarters, honestly, making them both vulnerable to artillery fire from the same source. Could have put it like a little more over here, but that will screen against further pushes by light vehicles for now.
Apparently we have been promoted. HMG!
Bunker being upgraded with a machine gun over here on the right side, and the Allies continue to completely fail to break through the Axis defenses, and the Axis have held on to 2 fuel points for almost the entire game. An Su-76 is being deployed, of all things. It's kind of weird. Over there to the left side. I would have thought a Katyusha would definitely make more sense if he was going to go Tier 4. But I don't know, maybe he can make an Su-76 work. It's making its way over there now. And as far as commander selections, the Allies have chosen Tank Hunter, Rifle, Tank Hunter, and Airborne. So, honestly, not a whole lot of artillery options available for the Allies with that composition. Although they do have the anti-tank bombing run. They don't have really much of anything else. Probably going to have to make do with non-doctrinal Soviet artillery solutions like the Katyusha, and I guess the Su-76. Ooh. Su-76 gets a shot off on a Stug E. Mine being planted over here by the M20, and a barrage is going off from the Su-76 on the battle group headquarters. This cluster of troops should probably spread out a little bit. The Su-76 barrage doesn't honestly do like that much, unless it gets a perfect direct hit. You'd think it would hit something, and there it goes, drops one model off of a mortar team. I think that's why Red Wings always buys 2. 1 will inflict like 1 model loss and some damage. 2 will inflict like 4 model losses. Honestly, I don't even know how he makes that unit work. But Beamer is gonna figure it out, getting himself a second Su-76 now. As far as his teammates' armored solutions, other than the Stewart, I haven't seen anything. We do have a second Tier 4 structure going up here from Effanubi, and he's also going to make some Su-76s. So, that's weird. Of course he can't get unbanned here. He's been a total jerk to me every single stream that I go to where he's mod. He bans me permanently as soon as he sees me say anything. Why would I unban him? Definitely not. Which also makes me wonder how he's a moderator anywhere. Why would anybody make him a moderator? He must be the worst moderator I've ever seen. Anyway, back to the game. Tier 4 structure is taking a little bit of light damage from that Su-76 barrage. Pack gets a shot off on it though, will have to pull back, brings it a little bit low. 2 shots will destroy an Su-76 as far as I'm aware. And we also have a mechanized regiment headquarters going up over here in this area. Once that completes, I can only assume that USU is going to be going for a King Tiger. Since the Axis fuel control has been so absolute this game, I really think that makes perfectly good sense. It will be a little bit difficult to survive until that arrives, but The Allies are not putting a whole lot of pressure on the Axis over here. Still have not managed to break through this offensive line. Light artillery barrage falling on these clustered infantry. Wow! That was a really good value light artillery barrage, forcing a huge retreat from those Allied forces. Wow. Apparently a Panzer IV takes out a full squad of rear echelon troops over here on the right side, taking out a minesweeper. The Su-76 over here on the right from FN Newbie supporting these snipers is moving to try and do a little bit of damage to it. It's actually got a damaged engine from something. Conscripts, I guess? I don't know. Su-76 might be able to hunt it down. It's going to try. Has to chase and close the distance to get vision, though. And at this close range, I think he messed up. There it goes. There it goes. Panzer IV will take the Su-76 down in just 2 shots. A second one arrived to support as well. Anti-tank grenade connects with the rear armor of this Panzer IV. A lot of anti-tank grenades, in fact. The tank hunter tactics, he does have access to the anti-tank grenade swarm. Does a little bit of extra damage, nothing all that impressive though. Su-76 moves up to try and finish the Panzer IV off with support. Destroyed engine. Main gun destroyed. Oh, come on, just kill it. No, attack ground, don't get too close. There's a Panther over there. They do round the corner just in time, and the Panzer IV is destroyed by Su-76s unpunished. That Panther looks like it wants to trade, if at all possible. There's an anti-tank gun in its path, and a Stuart, and an anti-tank grenade. You shell shock! Shell shock! Do it! No! Oh well. Panther looks like it'll probably be able to pull back to safety, although there's, what is that? Anti-tank bomb run, maybe? Yes, anti-tank bomb run! Oh, crew shocked, but it's still not destroyed. That was a little off target. They need something to finish off that Panther. Su-76 penetration is just so bad, though. All shots bouncing. There it is! Miracle hit from the damaged one in the back. And a Panther is destroyed by Su-76s and tank hunter tactics. Doctrinal counters, not to mention a T-gun, a couple Stuart shots, anti-tank grenade from the riflemen. So it took a lot of effort to bring that Panther down, but it is destroyed. Victory point on the left side is faltering a little bit, and there's a demo charge here in the road. 2 demo charges, in fact. There's one in the other road right there. This Tiger may prove a little bit difficult for the Allies to deal with. Another anti-tank grenade swarm connecting with that Tiger does basically nothing. Conscripts taking massive casualties against this Tiger and Axis infantry in the area as well. Sniper deployed a flare. Ooh, that sniper just died low. There are 2 tanks right on top of that demo charge. Okay, he did detonate it. It didn't really do all that much, honestly. Could have been a more impressive demo charge. Su-76's wipe a squad, though. It's definitely a win. And Allied armor here in the back. None of the Allied armor has been destroyed, and that's what's most important to keep alive. There has been a Panther deployed to the left side, though. I thought USU was going to go straight for King Tiger, judging by what I saw here, but I guess he decided that he couldn't wait any longer for the resources he needed and went with a Panther instead. He also has himself a Panzer II. So I guess for now he's only utilizing his mechanized regiment headquarters for repairs. He does not have any of the transfer abilities active. And he's just going to be operating on those vehicles for now. Easy 8 falls dangerously low and does have to disengage. I think it might get away. Should be able to get away, yes. SU-76s are going to bombard this anti-tank gun position again. Or just this general area, I guess. The scatter's pretty big at that long range. There it is.
The enemy has destroyed an anti-tank gun.
When bombarding from maximum range, that area of effect is huge. You really don't know if you're going to hit anything or not. But trying to hit really clustered forces like this obviously maximizes your odds. Nice flank by that Sherman. SU-76s land some hits at range on that Panzer II. And we'll destroy it before pulling back. Some allied forces over here on the left side will need to heal up and make their way back over there. SU-76 and SU-85 now available in this area should be possibly sufficient to assault this position. There's still a Panther and a Tiger over here, though. They are receiving some repairs now. The Allies... Oh. Wow! Did you see that? That bomb run just killed a full squad of Sternpios, almost wiped this, brought the Tiger to half, brought this structure to half, this structure to a little below half, or above half. The area of effect and damage on that bomb strike is huge. 180 munitions, you definitely want it to be good. Still not the same devastating firepower as the 200 munitions Soviet bomb run, regular bomb run. That one arrives quick and drops a huge spread of bombs that is effective against all targets. It's definitely a good off-map bomb strike. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Nice usage of the stun mines up here, by the way. Easy 8 in a bit of a rough spot will be able to escape because of that stun mine placement. The Tiger is not able to effectively chase. I really think Tank Hunter Tactics is a nice commander. The only thing that's not that great about it is that it's just not as good as the commanders would call in tanks. As you can see, conscripts at this stage of the game. Oh my god! Wow! Conscripts at this stage of the game, not exactly great. They can't really do anything against massed Axis troops, other than suicidally provide vision for a Katyusha strike. And another huge bombing run, which almost took out that Panther. Oh, and it gets abandoned by a big SU-85 shot. SU-76 is bombarding from range or dealing heavy damage to these Stern Pioneers, and this area has been almost completely cleared just by Allied indirect fire. Those bomb runs are huge. Oh no! Tiger Shot detonated his own stun mine. Shouldn't have parked on his own stun mine right there. Causes SU-85 to get taken out by the two Tigers over here on the left side. SU-76s are bombarding that Tiger from range. They just need a couple lucky penetrations. Oh! Or the bomb run could take it out. Man, those bomb runs are just never ending. They're just smashing these Axis tanks with that bomb run. And it looks like it's pretty tough to dodge. It lands quick. There's another one. Yeah, it lands pretty quick. And it has a huge area of effect. And clearly the Axis are having a lot of trouble dealing with it. Panther's been destroyed, all these trucks have been destroyed, Tiger's been brought down to half health. And I guess if you don't find your SU-76s to be all that effective, just drop bombs on everything. Those anti-tank bombs are not anti-tank bombs at all. They are absolutely general purpose, anti-everything bombs. Tiger's gonna get destroyed by a beautiful Easy 8 flank through the narrow alleyway here. I think. It's kind of having a little trouble. There it goes. Shot misses at point blank range. Regardless, the Tiger is forced to disengage. This bunker stands no chance. The last remaining truck here from USU is about to be destroyed. We will note that he'll have the fuel for a King Tiger very soon. And Darth has also the fuel for another Tiger. And another Tiger from Helichopper. Man, I haven't even been looking at the right side this whole time. Mostly because it doesn't look like anything's really happening, to be honest. Haven't noticed any change in battle lines or any really big engagements being joined over here. Could be wrong though, it could be like massive tank wars going on. Doesn't look like it though, it seems pretty quiet. Most of the Allied advance appears to be concentrated over here on the left side. The Katyusha's making its way forward to try and make an aggressive barrage from forward position. And Sherman's leading the charge, will be successful in wiping all forces off the map, including the damaged Tiger. Katyusha barraging this base, may be able to wipe that squad if it gets a lucky rocket. Almost. Katyusha barrage comes to an end, and it will have to pull back to a more safe location. Su-76s are still available here to fire on various targets that get in range, and they have vetted up nicely. So 12 and 17 kills between the two of them. Oh no! Sherman moves around to flank behind this Tiger. The Tiger has successfully destroyed one of the Su-76 aces, but this is basically the last of Darth's forces. He has this Tiger and one assault grenadier. But the vetted EZ-8 will be able to take it out even at range. But the Tiger, with its very last gasp, also brings the EZ-8 down. Conscripts on the left side are going to throw down some stun mines in preparation. You have to be careful with the stun mines though, not to put them too close to each other. I think he's putting them close enough to each other that they will they'll detonate each other. Like if one goes off, it'll set off a chain reaction. You need to be careful about exactly how far apart the spacing is. These two look like they have pretty good spacing though, as long as they're not too clustered. You'll get the maximum possible return on your investment. Another thing to keep in mind is that stun mines placed in a really clustered formation are very vulnerable to just being nullified by one minesweeper. But that's true of any mines, that's not just the stun mines. Bit of a desperation Stugi being fielded over here on the left side, but looks like the action's probably going to be rotating over here to the right now that the Allies have absolutely dominated over there on the left side. The Allies have collected enough munitions for a P-47 over here on the right, and it brings the Tiger down to half health already. So that's going to be forced out of the strike zone, which ends right here. Oh, and there's USU's King Tiger. Finally, it manages to hit the field, but it's already kind of caught in a weird position. Exposed its rear armor to the opponent. Trying to maneuver into a more favorable location. This Sherman will be forced to disengage after getting minimal damage off. Su-85 will continue pounding it from range, though, and it's already at half health. Stern Pioneers have been fielded and are moving up to try and get that thing repaired. Up here, engagement continues to rage, and it doesn't really look like it's going in anyone's favor. The battle lines continue to not really shift at all. Most of the Allied forces are clustered on this hill. They're struggling to break through this defensive line and start getting fresh territory under control. And there's a Jagdtiger over here as well, so that is problematic. The engagement right inside of the Axis base continues to rage, though. SUWS half-track gets taken out. Sherman's been repaired and moves to re-engage. A fresh EZ-8 has been fielded as well. Oh, and an anti-tank bomb run just got called in on the KT, bringing it down to just a tiny little sliver. You can see all the tiny little... Look how tiny the AoE is on those bombs. It just drops so many of them. It's like a teeny little crater, massive damage though.
The weapon team is back to full strength.
A couple mines being planted over here by the M20.
Enemy tank!
SU-76 is just pounding the Axis base. Their teammates are not really doing anything about this either. Two of these players are getting, like, an annihilation victory inflicted upon them. The other two are just happily going about their business defending this line way up here. These strategic points aren't even that important. In fact, we don't even really have much of a push by the Axis to take control of the center VP. If the Axis don't do something about the fact that there are Allied tanks in their base, this game's going to turn into a 2v4.
We have a forward structure under attack.
That's a scary looking blob. I don't know if I would want to charge straight towards a Katyusha with a cluster of troops that tight. Asking for it a little bit, but they do clear a field gun, force retreat from a sniper, probably also going to force a retreat from these paratroopers, and once again, battle line's not really shifting up here. Ooh, that was a huge hit from those Su-76s. That was really nasty. That came extremely close to wiping two more squads. They get away with only one man remaining. If that Katyusha moves up to take a shot at them on the battle group headquarters, that could be pretty huge, but it's all the way back here. I'm not actually sure if the Allies even know where it is yet. They probably do. Maybe. I don't know. Meanwhile, the Axis look like they're doing a little better in this area. The King Tiger's been fully repaired. They've fought off the Allied push into their base sector ever so slightly. They're getting shelled at range, but other than that, seems to be a manageable situation. And a small force of Axis troops are making their way out of the base toward these two Easy-8s over here. A fresh Su-76 has been fielded though, and this Vet-2 Su-85 is still a pretty significant threat, especially when engaging across these nice big open fields. Oh geez, get in that tank, okay. Folks right here's trying to make something amazing happen against that decrewed Easy-8. Unfortunately, DP Farce will notice just in time, and King Tiger moves up to support. Su-85 firing from across the way, and I don't think this is an engagement that can really go in USU's favor, but he has taken out one Allied tank over here before being forced to disengage. Jagdtiger doesn't have any kills yet, but it does have some vets, so the Allies know about it. It's fired at least one shot, and it's serving as a pretty effective deterrent against all of these tanks. They don't want to make a big push. That's probably not going to succeed. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Oh, I don't even know if he was paying any attention to that happening, but so much for that King Tiger. Yet another bomb run. Yet another dead tank. With that King Tiger off the field, there's not a whole lot to stop the Allies from just steamrolling all of the remaining infantry formations over here on the left side. There's an Austere sniper on the field with 10 kills, though. That's kind of interesting to see at this stage of the game.
Light artillery barrage ready to launch.
Easy-8s are making their way up the right side. But we'll get screened away by sustained anti-tank fire from Panzerschreck squad. And a vetted pack. Bit of a blob of Volksgrenadiers will also make its way to the left side to try to push this Allied advance out of their base. Meanwhile, over here, the Allies continue to have made no progress. None at all. They can't even get their fuel under control. Uh-oh, Jagdtiger's about to smash right into an Su-76. Oh, it cruised right past it. What is that Su-76 doing? Anti-tank bomb strike is gonna get dropped on that Yak Tiger. It tries to dodge, but it lands way too quick. Not that much damage though. It kind of only got caught in the corner of the area of effect. It will crew shock and blind it temporarily though, allowing for this SU-85 and field gun to fire on it, bringing it down to about half health. But if these Jacksons don't move up to support, I think it will probably be fine. And a Pac-43 has been built inside of the Axis base. If this happened, I would just leave and go help my teammates. They clearly need help over here. They're accomplishing nothing. They're just stuck. They need a big flank from these Easy 8s. Of which there are now 3, or 2, and a regular Sherman. Tiger is probably going to get overwhelmed if it tries to engage this many tanks. P-47 brings the Tiger dangerously low. But the Easy 8s are actually going to disengage. He definitely should have gone in on that. He could have finished that off easily. Another Tiger available over here on the left side is trying to help break out of this containment. But there's 3 Su-76s and 2 Su-85s. And even with their crappy penetration, that's way too much for one Tiger to take on. P-47 continues to fire on this Tiger over here, and it will be destroyed. Could not get clear of the strike zone, I guess. I don't even know where the strike zone was. Must have been pretty big. Drops an anti-tank bomb runner on this stuff. Doesn't really do all that much. It's kind of strangely targeted. Oh no, one of the Su-85s does get destroyed. Okay. And the bomb run takes out the Pac-43 as well. I feel like planes are the biggest contributor to this match, which is highly unusual. I've never seen so many bombing runs kill so many high value targets in one game. That seems to be really tough to dodge. Obviously a Pac-43 can't dodge, so that's nothing new. But like Panthers, Tigers, the Jagdtiger actually struggles to dodge pretty much any form of anything. It is so slow. But most other tanks can get out of the area of effect of an off-map bombardment relatively easily. That comes in quick. It's too bad that it's not more in the meta, because I really would like to see it used more frequently. I don't even. Oh my god! Remember what I was saying? Don't plant your stun mines too close to each other. He just wiped one of his teammates' squads with that mine placement. One grenade set off a chain reaction and killed that full squad of riflemen. You gotta space them out a little bit. You don't want all your munitions to go to waste like that. Wiping your teammate's squad is just icing on the cake for your opponent.
That's a Panzerschreck! Reinforcements in. Welcome to the death factory, boys. Stick with me and you might just make it. Warm up.
Axis forces continue to just basically kind of blob out of the base and try to do something. I'm sure they're just going to get shut down by Allied armor again. Over here on the right side, the battle lines are completely static. P-47 getting called in on this Jagdtiger. Su-85 trying to bombard it from range, but obviously the Jagdtiger wins that slugfest. I feel like if we don't see some semblance of teamwork, this game is just never going to end. There goes an Easy 8, although the Su-85s firing at it from across the ridge, bring it down to a little above half. anti-tank gun will be sufficient to push away the screening EZ-8 there. Maybe. Su-76 barrage will force it to reposition, opening up an opportunity for the Su-85s to finish off the Tiger. Wait, what killed that? Oh. Sneaky Jackson from the right side snipes it. Panther's been fielded over here. Ooh, nice play by that Panther, hunting down and killing that Katyusha. It's a pretty big win. Axis are trying to get back victory point control. They do only have 100 points remaining. Allies definitely need to shut down that push. Whoa. He disembarks from his Jackson, knowing that it takes 3 guys to recruit it, and it's only a 2-man Pio squad, so they can't steal, and guns down the Pios with the grease guns. Look at that. Go vehicle crew. And he will be able to take control of the center VP. Su-76 bombarding this area. Again, the battle lines are just not shifting at all. Fresh King Tiger has somehow managed to make it onto the battlefield. And an Ostwind, of all things, from Helichopper. It's a little late in the game for Tier 3 units, but at the same time, at least he's dedicating some forces to helping over here on the left side. His teammates clearly need it. I think he probably could have sent more than 1 unit, but, you know, not complaining. A 3-person push over here on the left side could be all it takes to potentially break through. Although the King Tiger hit an M20 mine over here and is now immobilized. Definitely needs some repairs from something. There's some Pios over here. Allies breaking through a little bit on the right side, though, I think, maybe. Although the Yag Tigers, Vet 1 still defending over there. Without a big flank by medium armor from over here on the left side, I don't really know if I see that Yag Tiger going down. Or, of course, mass anti-tank bomb runs, which seem to be the Allies' primary mechanism with which to deal with heavy armor. But their victory point control is really good. They did manage to retake this. They have control of the center. Darth just gave up for whatever reason. I guess I don't think they're going to be able to retake any victory points, and so even though the Allies held no fuel point for the entire game, it looks like they're going to be able to hold on to the VPs anyway. Taking out Tigers and Panthers left and right with just Su-85s and anti-tank bomb runs. Only 20 points now remain for the Axis, and they show no signs of being able to retake a VP anywhere. There's actually not that much left over here. Wait, where'd the Yag Tiger go? Is the Yag Tiger dead? Did I miss the Yag Tiger going down? Aw, I don't even know what happened to it. I totally missed it. It had full health last time I was over here. Oh well. Doesn't actually really matter that much because they had all the VPs and the M20 mine, which immobilized this King Tiger, making it unable to help in the final push. Honestly, I think this game was lost primarily because of victory point control and, of course, those anti-tank bomb runs. I don't know, kind of interesting. I mean, I know it's a 4v4, and it's not like a super high skill pro game, but I still would really like to see tank hunter tactics more frequently. It seems pretty okay. P-47 got it? Oh, maybe. Maybe it got hit by a plane. I don't know where the where it is though. Completely missed that. I have no idea where it went. Oh well, good game. Allies win.